Good day, everyone. Welcome to Study English with Adeyemi. So, in this video, we'll be continuing from our last video. And as you can see on your screen, we'll be looking at Introduction to Semantics, Lesson 2. So, in our last video, we discussed about what semantics is. So that is why it is marked. That is, we've done it. So these are other things that we'll be looking at in this course. But for the sake of this video, we'll be looking at the meaning of meaning. The meaning of meaning. So now, meaning is very difficult to pin down to a point or a meaning, because what something means today may be different tomorrow. And one common thing about meaning is change. Now, when we talk about meaning, meaning is a very wide thing that we cannot pin down to a stereotype definition, that we cannot pin down, we cannot bring it to a point, because what something means today will be different from what it will mean tomorrow. That is how it works here. So now let me cite a few examples. Of meaning. While we were in secondary school, we have a lot of students that they don't wear socks in school. They will be forced, they will be flogged every day. They see it then, putting on socks, they see putting on socks as a burden that they cannot bear, that they cannot flow with. But years after their graduation from the secondary school, you see them on the street putting on socks, even in a very hot sun. Not that there is cold or the weather is cool, you understand that? So then putting on socks means a burden to them. It signifies that this is burdensome. I hope you are getting that. But now that they left secondary school, it then became fashion. That is what meaning simply means. That is what something means today will be different, and let me put it this way, can be different from what it will mean tomorrow. So also in the case of school bag, we have a lot of students that especially guys, that they only carried their school bag till maybe JSS2. But now if you look at university students, even if it is your charger and your power bank that is inside that school bag, they carry it all along, all around. So what something mean today may be different tomorrow. So that is why meaning cannot be pinned down to a point. That is why meaning cannot be given a definite meaning. I hope someone is grasping what I'm saying. So in other words, meaning is intractable. And when we talk about intractable, it means hard to control, hard to deal with, or hard to solve. So meaning is intractable. It's not something that you can easily understand. It's not something that you can easily comprehend. If you don't have a more knowledge of it, you can't comprehend what it really means. So meaning goes beyond meaning. I hope someone get that. So now let's look at meaning from the semiotic angle. Remember I told you in the lesson 1 of this course that semiotics is the study of the meaning of signs. So here from the semiotic angle, meaning is the relationship between signs and the object it represents. There is a sign, there is a sign, and that sign is expected to have a meaning. So the relationship that occur or exists between that sign and the meaning given to it, that is what meaning simply means. So the relationship that occur or that exists between signs and the object it represents, the link between the two things, that is the object and the meaning, that is what meaning simply means. So what it represents and the object, the link between them, that is what meaning simply means. So if you are to take it to semantics, is the relationship between words, between symbols and what it represents. Words, every word have a meaning. They mean something, they represent something. So the relationship between that word or that sign and what it represents. That is what meaning means. So generally, meaning is an idea, is the idea, the concept, or the message that a word, a phrase, sentence, or symbol represent or convey. Generally, anything that we can give meaning to, it is the meaning of that thing is what it simply represents or what it's trying to pass across to the mass or the masses. I hope you are getting that. It is the concept, the idea, or the message that that word, signs, symbols, and all represent. So let's move on. We have three aspects of meaning. And the first one is the speaker's meaning, the second is the listener's meaning, and the last one is signs meaning. The first one, which is the speaker's meaning. The speaker's meaning simply talks about the intention of the speaker. That is, what the speaker is trying to pass across, the message that the speaker has for his audience, that he has for the mass, that he has for the environment or the community. So what he's trying to say, that is what the speaker's meaning actually mean. You know, a speaker might be saying something and as a listener you don't understand what he's saying. You might be conveying it or receiving it in another form, in another way that is different from what the speaker actually mean. So now the other one is the listener's meaning. So what the hearer infers from the expression, what the hearer infer from the expression, that is how he perceive it, what is able to deduce from the code used by the speaker. And so many times the speaker's meaning, even not so many times, the speaker's meaning is always different from the listener's meaning, except if the listener perceive it from the perception of the speaker. I hope someone is getting what I'm saying. I hope someone gets that. I hope someone gets what I'm saying. So the speaker's meaning is always different from the listener's meaning. Let me cite an example. So let's take this example. When a speaker says, say for instance, a speaker says congratulations, and we have about 2-3 different listeners. Some, maybe the first a group of listeners are students who just graduated from school, and telling them congratulations is saying, is meaning they are celebrating something and the speaker is wishing them congratulations, is felicitating with them. But take for instance, as a student, maybe you listening to me now, I'm telling you, if I should tell you congratulations, you'd be like, what am I celebrating? You understand that? So the meaning that speakers that listener give to a speaker's expression will differ based on what the listener wants to hear. So now, speaker's meaning is the intention of the speaker, which is supposed to be the listener's meaning. But the listener's meaning is what the listener could derive, could deduce from what the speaker is saying. And the last aspect of meaning is the signs meaning. Signs meaning is talking of meaning from selected signs, meaning from selected objects. So if you should see a red flag, we call something red flag. So what can you deduce from that sign? When players are playing football on the field, we have the yellow card and we have red card. If you should see that red card, it means something. So that is another aspect of meaning. So I think that's all about the meaning of meaning. And I said it earlier that meaning is the relationship between objects and what it represents. So that is all to know about meaning. So if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section or follow the link in the description of the video so that you can have access to a one-on-one question and answer session. So thanks for watching. And if you have found value in this video at all, if it has blessed you in a way, if it has added to your knowledge and understanding, kindly subscribe to this channel so that you will have access to more of this video. Thanks for watching.